Oh my goodness, this is making for an even longer Coke 600 than I think we all anticipated. But again, thanks for everybody bearing with me and welcome back to the stream. Blaney is putting, I should say Elliott rather, is putting up a fight to try and stay in the lead lap line. Blaney takes it 3 wide down the front stretch, and he'll finally put Elliott a lap down, but now Elliott back to the inside with a crossover. Takes a little bit of that air off the 12 car. Off that left rear corner panel. Drag race down the back. Blaney now with the advantage on the top side. And clears them going down into turn 3. So now just 7 cars on the lead lap. Jackson, welcome back. 9 laps to go here in stage 2. Again, the extra long Coke 600. It's so unfortunate, but again, thanks for everybody bearing with me and struggling through this together as a NASCAR family community on the channel here tonight. Now 8 laps to go in stage 2. Blaney's got about a 5-second lead on Christopher Bell. And not really aware of where the 7th place car is right now, so it looks like we're gonna finish with 7 cars on the lead lap to the end of the stage, barring another caution. That's the worst thing too, because it's cutting out the viewership, and we were having good viewership tonight. You know, it's going to cut out the views per race or per video, because we're not able to get this all in one video and one stream. And then on top of it, obviously it's making the race longer than what it needs to be, because I'm having to pause it for 5 minutes in between trying to reset the Wi-Fi and get the stream up and running again. I just completely got booted off that time. I don't know what it was. I'm using my hotspot too, because usually when that happens, I use the Wi-Fi. So then when we blacked out, I went to the hotspot, and now the hotspot booted me off this last time. So I don't know what it is. Hopefully it doesn't happen again the rest of the night. And again, no matter what, we got the rest of this race tonight, and then we have our Kansas race tomorrow. We don't have to deal with this Wi-Fi issue ever again, so. 5 to go now in stage 2. Blaney just hoping it stays green to the end of the stage now. But once he gets to 4 laps to go, if we get a caution by that point anyway, the stage will come to an end prematurely, so. He's coming off of turn 4, he's going to get there. So 4 to go this time by. This will all but assure that Ryan Blaney will win stage number 2, whether it would be under green flag conditions or caution, under the caution flag. Blaney finished runner-up in stage 1, so this will get him another playoff point on the season. Trying to bounce back in the longest race of the year after a DNF at Martinsville, after only getting about 200 laps into the race before crashing out of that one while battling for 7th with Ryan Newman at the time. He just lost control off of turn 4 and overcorrected it. But it was on fresh tires, which really mind-boggled the situation. We had an extremely bad handling car in the long run. The short runs, we were fast and we had good grip. And the adjustment we made to tighten it up kind of helped it even on the long run a little bit. So it was weird that I lost control randomly on fresh tires, but it's in the past. Blaney's lead obviously dwindled, only getting 7 stage points and finishing last, but he still got a 5-point lead coming into the night on Denny Hamlin, who has ran good but not great in the back half of the top 10 all night, getting stage points but nowhere near as fast as what the 12 of Blaney has been, or even the 95 of Christopher Bell, who has been the real favorite here tonight and probably will be going forward. Eric Jones up in smoke as he makes his way to pit road. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in stage 2. Problems for Eric Jones will stay green, and will likely get to the end of the stage. BJ McLeod up here is caught behind a couple lap cars. He's going to make sure he tries to stay at least just 1 lap down. He does not want to go another lap down. He is in 10th. Oh, and he is caught desperately, and so is Truex, who is also only 1 lap down, and McLeod gets around Truex. They're 3 wide off of turn 4. Blaney hustles. McLeod will go 2 laps down at the line. So does Truex, and Ryan Blaney wins stage 2. And actually, Truex was already 2 laps down, but McLeod was not. And he finished 10th in the stage. As take a look at your top 10 in stage 2. Blaney, Bell, Logano, Harvick, Kenseth. Your top 5 followed by Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Elliott, Keselowski, and we just mentioned McLeod will round out the top 10. All receiving stage points in stage number 2. And the free pass will be awarded to Chase Elliott. We're halfway home here tonight. 200 laps down, another 200 laps to go. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Man, oh man. Ryan Blaney wins the race off pit road again, just like in stage 1. And he will lead the field to the green in stage 3. Green flag back in the air. See if Bell can get a good restart this time. Again, we know Blaney is not fast on the short runs. And Logano, who restarts 3rd again, lines up there. Benedetto's getting a big run in the draft off Blaney down the back straightaway. Looks to the inside. Fake low actually went high. And Ryan Blaney is going to block Bell again and give Logano the lead at the line. So just like last stage, and that seemed to help Blaney just enough. He won the stage. That could have been the move that won him that second stage. He's going to try to do it again here in stage 3. Bell pushes him into the wall off of turn 2 as he races down the track. Boyer all the way to the apron. They're 4 wide down the back straightaway. And they're still 4 wide into turn number 3 as Blaney gets bounced around some more. Oh my goodness. And now 3 wide middle. Contact now with Eric Almirola, and to the back again goes Blaney. How did Boyer miss that checkup going all the way below the white line down the back straightaway to do it? Look at how far back Blaney fell. This is exactly a carbon copy of what happened back at stage 1. Logano got to the lead both times too, and both times Christopher Bell got held up. And he can blame his pit crew on that for not winning him the race off pit road. Now this time Blaney was in the lead coming into the pits. But the first time Bell was in the lead coming into the pits. Blaney goes all the way towards the back. Ooh. Reagan chases the 12 car up the track and bump draft him again. And he gets to the back of Ryan Preece. He couldn't get under him in time. Huge closing rate. They all stay accordion through 3 and 4. Yeah, he's definitely... Reagan is giving Blaney one heck of a shove right now. Trying to keep him going. Blaney just stalls out so much. I mean, he is right with these back marker cars. He almost got into Ryan Preece off before with the push, so Reagan's definitely got to be careful of it in the center of the corners. Reagan almost got into the side of the 37. So we'll see. 11.5 seconds off the lead and still dropping back. Just makes for a lot more cars that Blaney has to pass to get to the lead than what he was expecting, but again, that's going to happen all night. I think what's helped this 12 car stay in contention is the fact he does have the long run speed even with the damage, but his short run speed has dropped even more because of the damage, so it's just kind of a weird scenario that he's going to consistently just drop to the back on these short runs, and we've only had one caution per incident, so that has helped him out a ton with having pretty much nothing but long runs all night. We'll see if that'll happen in the second half of this race. We know cautions breed cautions, and we've only had one, but if we get more in the second half of this race, that can change the outcome and the way the rest of this race is managed throughout. Now Timmy Hill going to give Ryan Blaney a shot. Yeah, I'm not going to wreck anybody. That's only going to hurt me anyway. Our car's not good to go on a short run, so the more cautions we get, the more it's going to hurt me. Especially if we keep having restarts like that where everybody's scrambling as fast as they can to get around us and we're 4 wide going into turn 3 like we did, and Boyer had to miss us on the apron. It was intense. I don't want to go through that any more times than we have to. We know we're going to get at least one more restart with that extra stage. Since NASCAR implemented the stage racing back in 2017, they have ran 4 stages for the Coke 600. All 4 used now. Blaney, 18 seconds off the lead now. This is about where he was, maybe even a little worse at the beginning of the last stage, and he got a caution. We'll see. I mean, it helped him in the long run. Again, the short run, he's just not fast enough to keep up with those guys, and falters back to where you see a Spire Motorsports car like Ross Chastain running right now, so it definitely hurts. In fact, he is going to get beat around, and he needs to save the car as much as he can as well to the end, because he's got to get to the end of the race to have a chance to win the race. And the last thing he wants to do is DNF 2 races in a row. And that was the key. Martinsville was about survival, and he did not survive. He cannot afford to DNF 2 races in a row because, again, he is now in a situation he's only got a 5-point lead. He got lucky enough that the drivers he was racing for the regular season championship didn't have a great day at Martinsville. And Blaney still did get some sort of stage points, and I guess he has tonight too. But he saw that lead go from 25 points to 5 points in a matter of 1 race. And he will very likely lose the lead and then some with another DNF here tonight. Exactly. I wrecked back on lap 15. Definitely made it a lot harder for Blaney, but not impossible. We won stage 2, showing that this car still has the long run speed. We are about 2 hours into this race tonight.
Still there?
Still not in the final stage, but we are in stage 3. Past halfway.
Inside.
This has the makings for the longest race in the channel's history. I think the Coke 600 on NASCAR Heat 4 is the longest race we've had so far, and that race went, like, I believe it was over 3.5 hours, if I remember right. I think it was like 3 hours and 36 minutes or something like that, so we are running close to that kind of pace tonight, and again, with only having 1 caution per incident, it at least is keeping the race pace up. If we get to see more cautions, then there is a good chance that we might actually catch that, but if we finish with only a couple more cautions the rest of the way, I don't think we're going to break that record tonight. Now, granted, I'm not counting the stream lags into that, as far as me having to pause for a couple minutes to get the stream up and running again. So I don't like pausing the stream as it is, but obviously when we lose connection and lose picture, we have to figure something out there. So, and again, the car is handling great. It's just really slow on the short run. It's tight, but it's probably not as bad looking as what it might actually be, or maybe the other way around. I guess that it's probably looks worse than what it actually is. I mean, the car's just flat out slow on the short run. Blaney has not made adjustments all night for one reason, and that's because he does not want to mess with the long run speed that car has, and he was about 20 seconds off the lead this time before starting to run these guys down over the last half a second. So, slowly but surely. I'll tell you what, this game is hard, and with the steering wheel maybe perhaps just the last 400 laps and 600 miles around this track. When we go into NASCAR Thunder 2004 to the Coke 600, I will be very lucky to make it to the end of that race. As well as all the short tracks. Again, that game is so much harder than this game, both in difficulty and like actually being able to keep control of your car lap after lap, especially on a long run. I had a problem with it in the Daytona 500, how tight we were getting midway through the run, and we still managed to finish second. So we got through one 500 miler. We got a lot more to go, because back in 2003, in which that game takes place, there's a lot more 500 mile races than what there is now. Pocono used to run 500 miles, 2 races. Now we have 2 400 milers. California used to have 2 500 mile races. Now they only have 1 400 miler, and now it's going to be a short track starting in 2022. Atlanta had an extra race that was 500 miles. Caution is out. And this is going to be interesting. Nobody can make it on fuel to the end of the stage. We still will have 70 laps left when we go green. So nobody can make it. Blaney's going to try staying out. He's a little bit faster on the longer run. I think that's what he's banking on here, but everybody will be on fresh tires behind him. Keselowski in 9th place will get the free pass to get back on the lead lap. And this is only our second caution for incident here tonight. John Hunter Nemechek is out of the race, 39th. Wow, 4 DNFs already. Eric Jones, Jimmy Johnson, John Hunter Nemechek, and Daniel Suarez are all out of the race. So Blaney elects not to pit there. He'll restart from the lead. Logano wins the race off pit road. Will restart second. Green flag back in the air. Bell in 4th. And Blaney might have spun the tires again. Maybe not. I think Logano just had a really good restart. I don't think Blaney spun the tires. Logano on much pressure tires than Blaney, but Blaney gets to the lead through turns 1 and 2. Kenseth now looking for second on the inside. Kenseth will clear Logano for second. Looks low, fakes high. Oh, Blaney just up the block. Kyle Busch to the bottom into the lead. Off of turn 4. Toyota's 1, 2. Hamlin will make it 3. What a restart for McLeod. Oh, he gets contact with Newman on the inside. They're 3 wide. Blaney getting eaten alive again. This time he's on older tires, but everybody still has to pit to the end of the stage. More contact now with Bowman and McLeod. Further back in the pack as Harvick launches Blaney into turns 3 and 4. Oh, and Austin Dillon about turns the 12 of Blaney off of 4. Blaney had nowhere to go. He had Bowman on his inside. He had to stay high, and Austin Dillon about turned him. Blaney did a great job keeping it off the wall. Barely kept it off the wall off of turn 2 again. Loose with that contact from behind, and Logano lost a ton of spots after restarting second. He's even back to 7th, and he's on fresh tires. Blaney's getting pinballed around. Again, that was only the second caution for incident today. Blaney almost got the wall at the push there from Almirola in the center of the corner. Big run, 194 miles an hour into turn 3, and he couldn't quite clear the 24. Byron sucked the air off of him. Almirola was still pushing him when he was trying to get off of Byron. As Blaney will let Almirola go now. 65 laps to go in stage number 3. Blaney's going to have to pit in about 30 laps. Everybody else will have to pit in about closer to about 55 laps or so, if they stay out as long as they can. So this is definitely an interesting strategy. Blaney needs this to play green to the end of the stage. And if it does, this might be a stage winning move going off strategy. Seems like the on-throttle time is just more and more for Blaney over the course of the run. He just gets the grip in the race car. Now Matt DiBenedetto is going to get to the inside of the 12. Going up. Oh, into turn 3. Kurt Busch checked up. Blaney got into the back of him, and that just launched Kurt Busch a little further out ahead. And now DiBenedetto is trying to push Blaney down the front stretch here. His affiliated teammate. Oh, man, that got Blaney really out of shape into turn 1. And DiBenedetto is still consistent with trying to lock bumpers. Blaney is about 9.5 seconds off the lead currently. So again, he fell a lot further behind on fresh tires. It's kind of weird, but that's just been the case of the night. We haven't seen a lot of tire fall off, and that's why Blaney elected to stay out there, thinking he's faster on the longer run. The tire fall off's not heavy. And he was about 20 seconds off the lead before he cut in a couple seconds before the caution. He's 10 seconds off the lead now, but I don't think he's going to come close to 20 seconds back. So maybe by the end of the stage, and by short pitting the rest of the field, by at least 15 to 20 laps it looks like, that could be enough to still win him the stage. It'll be close. But obviously, again, he needs this to go caution-free to the end of the stage for that to work. Right in line behind Kurt Busch, and Busch has just been blocking him off here. .605 on the subs. Yeah, that's great, man. Couldn't do it without your guys' help. I mean, you guys hit the subscribe button and keep coming back for more, so that's great. Blaney's been trying to get around Kurt Busch on the outside now. Really pulled him back. I'm trying to get away from him down the front stretch. Kurt might try to side draft him back again. Blaney drove it off really deep into 1 and 2, but Kurt's still on the bottom. Been side by side for about a lap and a half now. Blaney almost clears him, but not quite by the time they get up into the corner. Now he just takes the air off the one car, and he's able to stay in front of him through 3 and 4. So finally got around Kurt Busch after about a lap and a half of battling. Now he's 12 and a half seconds off the lead, and again, we'll see. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait to get to 1,000 subs too. But hey, I can start doing this full time and really start striving to. Ideally, if I do this full time and then have a part-time announcing job somewhere small, is the next big step in my broadcasting career. So that way I'm making just enough money on here plus the part-time broadcasting gig that I'm doing what I want to do, and then obviously from that point on I keep growing and keep trying to get the recognition and keep working on my craft, and again, hopefully one day it'll all pan out in the end and you guys will be seeing me on Sundays or something. That'd be pretty cool. Not behind the wheel, but in the booth, of course. It'll be one of a kind too, because I don't think anybody I could think of in any sport has gotten a rise to the top, but I feel like NASCAR really pays attention to their YouTube community, and that's another thing too. If I was going after like football or any other sport, I don't see other sports really recognizing the YouTube community as much as NASCAR has, especially in the last couple of years. I just feel like it's the right way to go, the right way to start my career. I don't think I would have necessarily done it this way if I was looking to get into another sport, but because NASCAR is my #1 sport, has been since I was a little kid. And I do watch other sports. I have my favorite teams in other sports. It's nothing like watching NASCAR every weekend over the course of a year. From early spring to, or late winter, I should say, to mid-fall every year. William Byron of Brock. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Similar, but not quite the same. Man, look at the speed down the backstretch that Blaney and Truex got. I mean, Truex was even with, I believe that was Ryan Newman, if I'm not mistaken, that he just passed down the back straightaway. And look at how far ahead those guys just pulled away, bump drafting. And that's one thing. Blaney's been a good pusher. He's been just as good of a pusher as what he's been being pushed. And that really shows the speed in the race car in the long runs. He's still 12 seconds off the lead. That's one thing too, though, with these guys having fresher tires, although Blaney's car's coming to him a little bit quicker. I mean, we're at the point now, we've been green for 20 laps. Got less than half a stage now to go here in stage 3, and Blaney's going to have to pit here within about 10 to 15 laps now. Again, he's hoping it stays green. Otherwise, we get a caution. This strategy is foiled. And if he pits and then gets a caution, he might be stuck a lap down the rest of the race. If not more, I'm assuming he's going to have a fast pit stop. He's had nothing but fast stops tonight. Under caution, his team's won him the race off pit road, 2 for 2, and under green flag conditions, his 2 pit stops are 15.9 seconds and then 15.7 on the last one. That's another amazing thing. Only 4 pit stops over the course of the night in the longest race of the season. And we're about 2/3 of the way home. Actually, we're just over 2/3 of the way home, so. Once we crossed 50 to go on the stage, we were 2/3 of the way done with this race here tonight. The right front's starting to get really worn on the 12 car. Yeah, obviously, Andrew, on your racing career, I wish you the best of luck. We have a couple other racers that... Anthony Hanley's a big one. He's a really good late model racer. I'm not sure what he's looking for in his career. I know he's in his early 20s. He's about my age, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure where he's looking to go in his racing career, but obviously we know your intentions. I know you mentioned something about K&N a while back, and wish you the best of luck on that. It's kind of cool. We get these, you know, I guess like lesser known racers now. We'll see what you guys can do as well as me, you know, as far as a racing career. Obviously mine would be out of the car, but all grow together, that'd be awesome too. Blaney just shot around Chase Elliott there for 7th. Elliott got caught behind a couple lap cars, and Blaney got around him really quickly. And Blaney is not going to be anywhere close to the lead by the time he pits.
You're gonna blow a tire, dude.
44 laps to go in stage 3, and could this be right side tires only? Save a little time on pit road. Because Blaney is slower on the short run, so by taking 4 tires, it's going to be a little interesting, because he would get really tight again and might not be as fast even though he's on fresher tires. So it could just be right sides, because usually when you take right side tires, your car actually tends to get a little looser. So that might actually be better for him, because those left side tires might make it to the end of the stage. There's a good chance, and that would obviously save him time in the pits too. It might actually, well, he'd still be a lap down, but again, nobody can make it on fuel. Even the leaders would have to pit at maximum 10 laps roughly before the end of the stage, so they can't make it either. They can go about another 30 laps from now. It's just going to be a matter of what strategy is going to work. Will it be Blaney's or will it be everybody else's? And if we see a caution in the final stage, and if this strategy works out for Blaney here in this stage, you might see everybody try that strategy in the final stage of the race. Blaney just 7 seconds off the lead, so he is cutting into it finally. Over 2 hours into this race.
Got one up top. All right, you're clear there. See if we can manage our time a little, okay?
$40 to go at stage 3. I think we can all agree up to this point as well. It has been a fun race in general throughout the course. We've had a lot of interesting things go on. There's really never been a dull moment in the entirety of this race up to this point. So hopefully the final stage will deliver. We might see a Coke 600 Classic come the end of the race. Blaney trying to get around Kenseth. Kenseth blocking him. Blaney looks low. Drives it under the 42 car now. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin getting held up. Lap cars were going side by side down the back straightaway right in front of them now, and Blaney is closing in big time on both of them. Oh, Hamlin trying to go up the middle, 3 wide. Blaney to the outside, he gets tight, he's in the wall. Off of turn 4, maybe pushing it a little too hard. It's going to wear out that right front a little bit more. Blaney will likely be pitting this time by. Running a higher line through 1 and 2 now. Getting the run now on Hamlin down the back straightaway. Huge run to the inside of Logano, who looks slow underneath Joey Gase. Blaney uses him as a pick, and he's up to 3rd to the back of Michael McDowell. Blaney will come to pit road next time by. He'll stay out 1 extra lap. Just in case we get the yellow. 37 to go now, stage 3. So Blaney will pit this time by. This is the most he's really taxed on those tires all night long. And Kyle Busch is coming alive as this race goes on. He's only 3 seconds behind Christopher Bell. Of course, Busch got to the lead last stage, and Blaney's staying out another lap here. So Blaney is really pushing that right front tire as far as it will go. Doesn't want to blow it, of course. That would give him even more damage than what he's already got, but he's running a fast pace and wants to keep this pace up as long as he can. Now about 4.5 seconds off the race lead. And Blaney's going to have to come to pit road this time. That right front will not make it another lap. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit.
Back it down, back it down.
Easily will get down to the speed limit on time there. Another 4-tire pit stop, and it'll top off on fuel. Quack, quack, 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the stream. Jackson Pittner, welcome to the stream also. Here we go, 15.9 second stop. That matches Blaney's first green flag stop, so not quite as fast as what it was in stage 2. Decided to go 4 tires after all instead of 2. We'll see if that will be the correct call. And he is a lap down, but he is the first car a lap down, so if the caution did come out, he would get the free pass. But obviously that would ruin any sort of shot he has of winning the stage. Oh man, 3 wide off of turn 4 on fresh tires, trying to get around the lap cars. And again, everybody else is about 8 to 12 laps short on fuel to the end of stage 3. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race tonight. And again, you can see the damage on the front bumper of the 12 of Ryan Blaney. That was back on lap 15 when he ensued it. And this team has shown great resiliency here tonight. Probably the best resiliency we've seen out of this race team all season. And really the first time he's been put in a situation where he's had heavy damage and has had to make it to the end of the race. The only other 2 times that this happened, or the only other 1 time it happened, was at Texas, and he didn't make it to the end of the race. That was a 500 miler. This is 600. And this time he's making it quite a ways. Martinsville, he wrecked out when his car was pretty clean for the most part, so that was just an unfortunate circumstance that day. with 4 fresh tires. Again, this car, although it's not as fast and maybe doesn't handle as well in the short run, it does handle better with less traffic around it on the short run compared to obviously on the restarts when everybody is on fresh tires. And we just see Blaney drop straight backwards, and he's just trying to basically avoid everybody and not getting an accident. Blaney had a chance to win the opening race of the season, which was the only crown jewel event we've had this year. It was the Daytona 500. Eric Jones went on to win that day. Blaney led with a lap and a half to go. Down the back straightaway, he tried to block Tyler Reddick, who had a push and a big run on the outside. And Blaney accidentally, when going to make that block, put Tyler Reddick in the wall. Blaney got loose to the bottom of the track, barely kept it out of the grass, kept it going straight, finished 5th. So that led on to a drag race on the final lap between Eric Jones and Tyler Reddick. Reddick couldn't keep the momentum up, and Eric Jones got the win. That is Eric Jones' only win of the season. He is outside the top 10 in the point standings. He is inside the top 16, but he's outside the top 10, so that win in the 500 is good enough to guarantee him a playoff spot. Blaney wants redemption today with a win in a crown jewel event. It would be his first career crown jewel win if he can get it done today in the Coke 600, and he's having to battle adversity again for really the first time this season. But so far he has come back. He has won a stage. He won stage 2, finished 2nd in stage 1. Christopher Bell, who's had the fastest car tonight, leads again currently, and he was the winner of stage 1 as well. And he's going off strategy with everybody else here. Everybody has to pit to the end of the stage. Blaney does not, but Blaney is a lap down currently as well. Going off sequence and pitting about 20 to 25 laps before everybody else. There's the damage in which he is having to battle this adversity. Sports Live, welcome to the stream, by the way. I did see you pop in the chat there down below. Owen Hayes, welcome to the stream also. Do I think they'll get the race going tomorrow? I haven't checked the weather update since this morning for Texas, but when I checked it this morning, it looks like they're supposed to have rain all day tomorrow and all day Wednesday too, so I don't know. I guess only time will tell. Obviously, you never know, really. With the weather, it could change on a whim, especially where I live. I know I've had moments up here where it says it's supposed to rain all day and it ends up clearing up for a couple hours in the middle of the afternoon randomly. So, I mean, maybe that could happen tomorrow. If that's the case, they can get it in. I was hoping that was going to happen today. I was hoping, really, realistically, it was going to happen on Sunday, but it just never came to be then either. So, we'll just have to wait. Only time is going to tell. And obviously the forecast over the course of that time on whether they could actually get it going or not. I usually like to tend to think optimistically, kind of like in that situation where, again, maybe they could get a window and they only have to get to halfway, which from the 53 laps they got in, they only have to go another 114 laps to get to halfway, so maybe they can in that case. And somebody was up in smoke on pit road right there. 21 laps to go now. Blaney crossing over Clint Boyer, getting around him through turns 1 and 2. Yeah, this is on PS4. $20 laps left here in stage 3. Well, I guess 19 to go with the leaders, because again, Blaney's a lap down after trying to short pit. Playing a different strategy game. We'll stick with this normal camera to the end of the stage now. I'm not going to get the PlayStation 5 immediately when it comes out, but at some point I will. I just have no timetable for it. Blaney's still in 9th, so whoever DNF'd up there, it was somebody that wasn't already ahead of him. So I'm not sure who that was. It was likely a non-factor as far as the race win goes, so at least that's good to see. Won't really change the outcome in this race, and we stay green too, so that's another reason why it won't change the outcome. Just clearing Matt Kenseth there. Big Ron Harvick is caught behind Brendan Gaughan. These fresh tires for Ryan Blaney start to cut back into these guys' deficit. Again, he was about 4.5 seconds off the lead when he came into the pits, but short pitting as much as he did. How much time will he gain, and when will the leaders come into the pits? Again, they will have to pit, and by my calculations, anywhere between the next 6 to 10 laps, they will be on pit road for the final time in stage 3. Blaney stayed consistent with a one-stop strategy. Everybody else on a two-stop strategy. This passing's not for position, and the leaders are coming into the pits as we speak, so they are pitting even before what I expected them to pit. I expected them to come in 6 to 10 laps. Joey Logano is on pit road now. It looks like Christopher Bell is still on the track. As the race leader, Logano would have been right about 3rd or 4th. I believe he was in 3rd. Harvick was in 4th. So we're going to get to see. I would assume Blaney would cycle into the lead, but these guys are going to have about 15 to 20 lap pressure tires, and they are going to try to run Blaney back down. I don't think Blaney's car is quite at its peak performance yet. There you see Kyle Busch on pit road. Logano just coming out of his box. Blaney will easily cycle ahead of him. Well, where will the race leader Christopher Bell be, who is still on the racetrack? Huge group of cars on the pit road right there. But Christopher Bell is not one of them. Chase Elliott's still on the racetrack as well. He is not yet pitted. I don't think Keselowski's pit either. Wonder if we might get any guys taking right sides only, or maybe fresh tires only as well. Logano's about 9 seconds behind Blaney. And he is going to cut into that lead quite a bit. Man, it is going to be close. I don't know if Blaney's going to hold on with this strategy to win the stage, but why not try something different? He didn't think that playing the same strategy was going to work, so he tried doing something different, and we'll just have to wait and see. Kevin Harvick's still on the track. He's the last car yet to pit. Joey Gase kind of stalled Blaney up off of turn 2. There you see McLeod hanging on. Christopher Bell just 6.5 seconds off the race lead. As he is cycled up in front of Logano. Now, once Kevin Harvick pits, Ryan Blaney will take the race lead, at least for a moment. This is going to be a heck of a race to the end of stage 3. 26 seconds. Out ahead is Harvick, but he cannot make it on fuel to the end of the stage. He did not pit under that last caution either. Or sorry, he did pit under the last caution with everybody else. I'm surprised he's going a lot further. Now granted, I think everybody else short pitted, because again, I expected 6 to 10 laps for those guys to come down, and now Harvick's in the pits. So Harvick is on pit road now. It'll be a lead change this time by, and Ryan Blaney will cycle through as the leader with 10 laps to go in the stage. And Christopher Bell now is only 4 seconds off the lead. Now less than 4 seconds off the lead. And no traffic ahead of Blaney. But I don't think there's any traffic in between Blaney and Bell. So Bell's going to have a clean shot at him here. 10 to go. This could be a preview of what we might see at the end of the race here. Because again, the final stage is going to be the same length as the first 3 stages, 100 laps. And Bell is coming fast. 2 seconds back. I mean, Blaney's going to do everything he can. Maybe a couple lap cars might get in the way eventually, but I don't see that happening yet. 9 to go. Bell gained about 1 second that last lap. I mean, he's going to get there in about a lap and a half. And here's another car just coming out of the pits. I believe it's Clinton Boyer in the 14. But Blaney's not quite going to get to him. Couple other lap cars. Timmy Hill's on pit road. Back marker cars, that is. And here comes Christopher Bell. 8 laps to go in the stage. He is there. He is right behind Blaney going into turn 1. Blaney starts off on the bottom. Bell on the outside. And he is just going to clear Blaney with ease off of turn 2. Wasting no time at all. And he couldn't because Joey Logano is now less than 2 seconds back of Blaney. But will the tires even out over the course of the run, or will Bell just continue to pull away and win the stage? 7 to go, and Blaney's going to have to hold on for every point he can get because Logano is only a second behind him. Kyle Busch is 3 seconds behind him. Good corner through 3 and 4 there. Bell got caught behind the lap car, but it's going to have to take a lot more than that for Blaney to catch back up, and I just don't think he's going to catch him. Christopher Bell looking to win his 2nd stage of the night. Oh, he's caught 3 wide in the middle and had to back out of the gas off of turn 2. So Bell is getting held up big time. Finally gets around, I believe that's Stenhouse up there. And here comes Joey Logano. He's going to work with Blaney down the front stretch. Oh, well thought about it. Now Blaney goes low. Logano will take the outside and easily get around him. I don't think Logano's going to have time to get to Bell either. Bell's struggling to get around Boyer. Boyer's racing him hard right now, but Clint's on fresher tires than Blaney too, so Blaney's not really able to cut into that deficit. Remember, even Logano pitted 2 laps before Bell, so I just don't think even Logano can catch Bell. Yeah, I guess it depends how long it's going to take for Bell to get around Clint Boyer, because Logano might be able to run him down if he takes too long. Went to the inside, man. And Christopher Bell is struggling right now to get around that 14 car. Now he looks high, and he still can't get around him off of turn 4. Logano is coming. He's only a 1.5 seconds back of Bell now. 3 laps to go in stage 3. And Blaney's going to try to hold on for 3rd because Kyle Busch is coming less than a 0.5 second behind him. Stenhouse might be in the way. Off of turn 4. Oh no, Blaney gets into the back of Stenhouse. And he's in the wall now in contact with Kyle Busch down the racetrack. 2 to go, stage 3. Oh my goodness. That got a little ugly there, and Kyle Busch is trying to come right back after Blaney. He's got fresher tires. He is going to shove Blaney up the track, and he almost gets into the 47, and now Blaney's trying to block for 3rd. All the way to the bottom of the track as Busch sends him off into turn 3 with some contact. What a battle for 3rd. Busch to the back bumper again. These guys are costing each other a ton of time here. But they're way ahead of Denny Hamlin in 5th. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in the stage. And Blaney's going to try to make Busch pass him high. Blaney blocking the bottom. Busch is down there. They're all the way to the apron. Blaney checking up the corner big time. Busch loosens him up off of turn 4. Can't get to the inside. Christopher Bell will win stage number 3. Blaney by inches hangs on Busch for 3rd. Logano ended up 2nd. Again, Kyle 4th. Denny Hamlin 5th. Followed by Kenseth, Harvick, Elliott, Keselowski, and McLeod round out the top 10. A wild finish to the end of stage 3 again here, and here we go. I would assume the same PSN account would transfer from PS4 to PS5, so you might as well just create one for PS4. I mean, that's what I would do. 9 seconds of damage now on the 12 car. That probably came from the 18 there at the end of the stage. One stage to go. We're 3/4 of the way home in the Coke 600, and we are over 2.5 hours into this race as well. It's been a long night, but we're almost coming to the end, and it has been a wild and fun, entertaining race so far. Bell wins the race off pit road. Indiana did beat Penn State. One way or another. Hey, that was still a hell of a game. I only saw like what happened. I didn't actually watch it, but great restart by Christopher Bell there. Blaney with a great restart from 3rd as well. He's in the draft of Bell. Joey Logano's going to give him a shot. Going into turn 3. Blaney looks low, but he couldn't hang on to it. He gets into Logano. Up the racetrack. Penske cars get together off of turn 4. Causing them huge amounts of time as Harvick now is going to try to go for the lead on Christopher Bell. Blaney just slides up the track again. Hamlin, Kyle Busch right around Blaney. Blaney still holding on to 5th. Barely keeping it off the wall. What will happen with less than 100 laps to go in the Coke 600? Kyle Busch is all over the back bumper of the 12 again, but this time they're battling for the outside, and Blaney's in the wall. And that's going to slow him down more. Kenseth now rubs up against the side of the 12, and he falters backwards. And this 18 car is launching the 12 into the corners a lot faster than what Blaney wants to go, and now he pushes him into the 24. Oh, almost some contact between McDowell and Kenseth. Now Byron's going to push the back of the 12 car. Blaney in the wall again off of turn 4. Contact! Oh man, we got a car up in smoke there down the front stretch as well. There was almost a wreck behind that though between Byron and Blaney. And it's Kyle Busch, and he's in the wall. Busch is in the wall in turns 1 and 2. Back down the racetrack. I believe his right front tire is just blown out. He is slow. Cars are scattering to miss him here. 3 wide. Is Busch going to even make it to pit road this time? We stay green at Charlotte. And Kyle Busch, who has come from the rear, has been running in the top 5 and getting faster over the course of the night. One of the challengers for the race win is now done in the final stage of the race. His right front is blown out. I don't know if that's going to knock him out of the race or not, but it will for sure end his chances of winning here today. Now, he scored a lot of stage points. He's one of the regular season championship contenders as well, and we talked about it at the beginning of the night. Survival for the 5 drivers who are in very good contention to win the regular season championship, and Kyle Busch is the first of those 5 to have his night come to an end prematurely. The other 4 on the track still: Keselowski, Blaney, Hamlin, and Truex. And Truex has been outside the top 10 all night and has been a non-factor as well, but the other 3 have been in the top 10, if not top 5, pretty much all night. Hamlin's been right around 5th the whole race. Keselowski's been in the back half of the top 10. He's back on the lead lap again. And Blaney has been up and down. He's been anywhere from the back to the front to mid-pack. He's had the most roller coaster of a night compared to any of those 5, especially really out of the whole field. Yeah, I do watch NFL. My team's the Packers. Even though I'm not from Wisconsin, I'm from the Midwest area, but I'm not. Closest team to where I live is the Lions. I'm like that halfway point between Cleveland and Detroit in Northwest Ohio, so both cities are pretty close to where I live. About an hour and 15 minutes to Detroit and an hour and a half to Cleveland. Cincinnati's only like 3 hours south of me too. Indianapolis is only about 4 hours away. Southwest. But yeah, my favorite team is the Packers. Since I was a little kid, my dad got me a Brett Favre jersey when I was younger. Whether I can't remember if I liked them before that or not, but since then I can remember rooting for the Packers. I still have that jersey too. It was a kid's jersey, but I still have it. Blaney just trying to go up the track, barely clears Custer. Custer pushed him into Byron. Byron and Blaney get sideways. Custer might have bounced off the wall. Blaney's going backwards again. Another miraculous moment where he's able to keep the car going straight and at least keep this race going. My goodness. What a race. "86 laps to go in the Coke 600. Truex all over the back of the 12. The points leader coming into the night, Ryan Blaney. Blaney is now about 17 seconds off the lead in a situation where we're going to have to see who will win this race. And Blaney's got to go. I mean, he can't waste any more time. He needs to chip that lead down, because we saw Bell with 7 laps to go in the last stage take the lead away from Blaney. Blaney couldn't get up to the lead before everybody pitted. He was 4.5 seconds back. He ended up getting past the 7 to go. It wasn't enough. Blaney has to go. This is the final stage. It's for all the marbles to win one of the biggest races of the season. And even though he's already in the playoffs, and even though Bell is already in the playoffs, both have wins this season. These are the two favorites. This is a crown jewel event, and neither one of those two have won this race in their careers, so it'd be the bright shining moment to their careers up to this point. Blaney trying to bump draft Ross Chastain, get him going down the back straightaway. Not going to be enough there. But now Chastain moves down in front of Truex, and Truex and Blaney are battling a little hard with each other, and Blaney is now about 19 seconds off the lead, so he's still going backwards. Tires have not kicked in yet. He clears Truex again down into turn 1. Truex gets a big run in the center of the corner, and he's going to get to Blaney's back bumper again now down the back straightaway. And again, off of turn 4, he's going to get there. I don't think he locked bumpers that time. He came close, but that time he's going to lock bumpers through 1 and 2. 2 cars have been faster than 1 when they can handle properly when they are getting pushed. And look at the speed Blaney has at the back of McDowell now because of it. He shoots past him. Everybody, again, will have to pit one more time today. When will that be? Oh yeah, Bears games tonight. Who do they play again? They play a good team, the Rams, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. Bears defense is really tough. Honestly, I'd probably pick Chicago to win that game tonight. I just think they're the more consistent team this year. Yeah, offensively it's not great, but their defense has started to kick it into gear the last couple weeks. And the Rams, I'm not sure about. They're so inconsistent this season. Like one week they're looking like a Super Bowl contender, when the next week they're losing to bad teams. So it's really hard to tell with them. It is a home game for them out west, so that'll probably play into their advantage too. But Blaney overruns 3 and 4 there. But yeah, I'd probably take the Bears if I had to pick. "21 seconds off the lead for Blaney." This is as far back as he has been tonight. And it's in the final stage. That is not good. Good news is, though, they're not halfway through the tire run yet, so there's still a ways to go before everybody hits pit road for the final time. Yeah, Bears only have 1 loss this season. Yeah, if they win tonight, they're still in the lead in the division. Packers are tied with them right now, but that's because they had a bye week already still, too. Bears haven't yet, which only makes the Bears that much more of a threat as the season continues. And a caution. Here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, caution is out with just 76 laps to go. It is only the 3rd caution for incident tonight. And this is about the same point it came out last time. And remember, Blaney stayed out. So he's going to try to pit this time, because that strategy did not work in the last stage. So he's going to pull the same strategy this time. They cannot make it on fuel to the end of the race. McLeod will get the free pass in 9th, but only get 1 of his 2 laps back. Blaney does gain 1 spot on pit road. He'll restart at 7th. And somebody's out of the race that was in the top 10. Oh no, it's Christopher Bell, I believe. No, Bell's up there, never mind. Sorry for that, Bell's in the lead. I'm not sure, one of the leaders is, oh, it was Kyle Busch, my bad. I forgot Kyle Busch blew that right front tire. Never mind. Everybody's still in the lead lap that was originally on the lead lap. I forgot about that already. Inside line takes off on the restart. Will this be the final restart of the day? Blaney looks low. Ooh, Keselowski getting a little loose there. Bowman just kind of shoves the 12 car into turn 3. Bell goes high. 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4. Hamlin to the bottom. Logano had to back out of the gas. He was going to go up the middle. Didn't have a run. And here comes Denny Hamlin, who came in 10 points behind Blaney for the points lead. He is going to go for what could be his 2nd win of the season. Well, that would be a huge break for Denny Hamlin. Blaney's going to go backwards just like he has all night on the short runs. He's going to have to hang on for dear life. Got his best friend Bubba Wallace pushing him on the outside. Blaney back down to the bottom now, underneath of Michael McDowell, but the car gets tight up the track again. Trying to hold his line as best as he can. He just can't do it. Oh boy, Byron gave him a shot, then moved Blaney to the middle. Oh, a little contact with Newman. Wallace trying to help him out again, and here's Truex, who almost got into Wallace off of turn 4. Truex got really loose. Less than 70 laps to go in the Coke 600. This has been one of the better races of the season, despite only having 3 cautions. And despite the fact that Christopher Bell has absolutely dominated the race. I'll be curious to see how many laps he will have led by the end of the night. And Blaney's in the wall in turns 3 and 4, and he's still going backwards. Blaney in the wall, off in turn 2. Oh, he goes sideways on the brakes into the inside wall. We stay green somehow. Oh, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. Somehow we stay green. Blaney got jackknifed into the wall off of turn 2, back down into Brendan Gaughan. Gaughan went sideways, somehow saved it. Blaney did not. And he kind of pancaked the wall at the left side of his race car. But in the end, keeps it going, and somehow we stay green. Again, that's the second time he spun, and we have stayed green tonight. And that makes the deficit even harder for Blaney to come out of to the end of this race. .66 to go. But he's still going. Still, despite the damage, he is still in the race. And on the lead lap in 8th place nonetheless, so. And don't count him out. It's going to take a valiant effort to win this one. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in the race today. And again, there is the damage to the 12 car. Pretty significant. He'll still have the long run speed though, so we'll see if he can hang on. Maximus King, welcome to the stream. It was really close to DNFing. We got lucky we didn't hit the wall head on. Earlier we hit it with the right side of the car on the outside wall instead of head on, and then obviously unfortunately gave us a little bit of engine damage, but then that time we hit it with the left side of the car. Came close to DNFing 15 laps into the race, and then close to DNFing 335 laps into the race, but both times we survived. Problem is, Blaney is 22.5 seconds off the race lead, and is going to have to fight to the end of it here tonight to get the win. And I'm not sure if a caution coming out would give him a better chance, or staying green to the end, because the car will come alive eventually, but it's going to take a while, and he is quite a ways off the lead. Good news is, he's got no cars around him currently. The race leader is about 6.5 seconds behind him still. And although he's catching him, I don't think he will put him a lap down. I think Blaney's car will come to life before that will be a factor. Sage Castillo, welcome to the stream. .61 laps to go. We are almost 3 hours into this race here tonight. It has been a long one. In the Coke 600, it is the longest race of the year. And it is testing everybody's endurance tonight, but we have made it late in the race with still a chance to win, although the chances got a lot more difficult as this race is wound on. Again, Blaney has led no more than 40 laps all night tonight. Christopher Bell has been the top dog by far. Blaney did win stage 2, Bell won stage 1 and stage 3, and leading the race currently. Body armor Ford Mustangs, and to show how tough the armor is around this race car. Time and time again here tonight. Ooh boy. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream. Blaney overdrove 1 and 2 a little bit there. 27 seconds off the lead. Well, we saw him come back to win stage 2. Can he win the race? Again, only 3 cautions per incident tonight. That has been one of the weirder stat lines I think we've probably seen. Of all the races that we've had some of the least amount of cautions in a cup race all year, who would have thought it would have been the Coke 600 with being the longest race of the season? And that's despite how aggressive the restarts have been when we have had them. Again, we'll have to see if we'll get another one before the end of the race. Ten people watching currently right now. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in. We've had a couple technical difficulties over the course of the night, but making the race maybe even a little bit longer than what it needed to be on top of it. And we got a car up in smoke on pit road. Tough to tell exactly who it was. It looked like it might have been Alex Bowman. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it might have been Bowman. He was outside the top 10 all day. Again, I don't think it's anybody that's in contention to win because we're still in 8th. The only driver who has had a shot to win tonight that has had issues was Kyle Busch. And that happened about 20 to 30 laps ago. He blew a right front tire, ended up in the wall, and that ended his day. Or at least ended his chances of winning. I don't know if he's out of the race or if he's still on the track or not, but that put him a couple laps down regardless, so his day is done as far as winning the race goes, and he'll have to, if he's still on the track, salvage every point he can get the rest of the way, maybe hope that a couple more cars DNF before the end of it. Oh man, big run there for a second. He got in the wall off of turn 4. 54 laps to go. Oh man, now he got in the back of Timmy Hill getting into turn 1. He is struggling right now, and Christopher Bell is coming as the race leader is charging on Ryan Blaney, who has struggled through the lap traffic here over the last couple laps. But now Bell's kind of got caught behind those lap cars a little bit, so Blaney opened the gap up a little bit more. By a couple tenths, not by much. More lap cars Blaney's able to pass, hopefully quicker than those last couple. Maybe the more he can pull away. And we're at about that point where his car's slowly going to start getting better. And yes, he is slowly pulling away from Bell. Bell was about a half a straightaway behind him, and he was coming pretty quickly there. But now Blaney's starting to pull away. His car is starting to come to him. But this is as far back as he has been all race long, about 30 seconds. And we are less than 60 laps left in this race, and still everybody has to pit one more time. Again, if you're not subscribed and you are watching right now, please subscribe. We've got daily NASCAR content. These full race live streams with a realistic broadcast on the daily NASCAR Thunder 04 coming back later in the week. Second race of that season there. We'll do 2 seasons there. And plan on working my way up through all the older EA Sports games from that year on up. Doing 2 seasons each on top of the NASCAR Heat 5 and balancing here. Again, we're on season 2 for Truck, Xfinity, and Cup for NASCAR Heat 5 as well. As I start my young broadcasting career, so follow me on that journey. It's been a lot of fun up to this point here in the last, well, since February, so roughly 8 months or so. Keep this ride going on the road to 1,000 subs. 49 laps to go. The later and later it gets into this race, I think the less and less of a chance Blaney's got of winning it. Now that caution came out about 4 laps before it came out last time. Everybody pit with about 17 to go in stage 3. So they will likely pit, if I had to guess, if they pitted about the same amount of tires, laps on their tires, you're going to see everybody else pit with about 20 to go, maybe a little over 20 laps to go in the race. With all 3 stages we've had up to this point, Ryan Blaney has finished 2nd in stage 1, won stage 2 as we mentioned a couple times, and finished 3rd in stage 3. So kind of all over the place here tonight. He's been one of the contenders. Definitely has the fastest long run speed. It just takes a while for it to get going, as you see here. And this is the longest it has taken to get going, but still has hopes that it will eventually over the course of the run. And man, oh man, these laps are running down quick as we get closer and closer to the end of the race. We are over 3 hours since the start time of this one here tonight. Before the technical difficulties, we started the stream at about 5:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a huge test of endurance here tonight. Last time we have to do it for NASCAR Heat 5 though, so only the 2nd time too. We only did 2 seasons, so. Always one of the tougher races just to make it to the end. Lenny actually went full throttle there through 1 and 2. And I think that car is really starting to come to him now. He's able to do that. I think he's got to lift a little more in 3 and 4 though still. It's a little sharper angle into turns 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 2. The way the front stretch is with those couple kinks through the quad oval portion of the racetrack makes it a little wider entry into turns 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4. Obviously a lot sharper with that long back straightaway, but man. Blaney did have to lift that time through 1 and 2. That's because he almost ran into the back of Matt DiBenedetto at a higher rated speed, so he had to lift there. 42 laps left. Justin Haley's not bad. He's a good kid. Very good super speedway racer. I'll tell you what, when he gets to the Cup Series, I would imagine when Call League goes full-time NASCAR, he'll probably jump up with them in 2022 when the next-gen car comes out. He will be a threat on the super speedways. I know he won Daytona in the July, but it got rain shortened. But he stayed through the race, kept himself in it. He has won a few super speedway races in the last 2 years alone with Call League Racing. He'll be a force to be reckoned with on the super speedways, let me tell you. He's a lot smarter driver too, it seems like. A lot less aggressive than, say, Ricky Stenhouse would be. So it's not like it's going to be like he's only going to be good on the super speedways. I'm just saying that'll be probably his best form of racing when he comes in his first couple years into NASCAR until he gets used to whatever package we're running, I guess, of the next gen car, whenever that would end up being. Blaney was 30.5 seconds back. He is now 25.5 back. So he's gained 5 seconds in the last 10 laps. He is starting to click away faster lap times. But can he catch these guys by the end? We got about 25 laps until green flag pit stops if we stay green to the end of the race also. Will we get another caution? We've only had 3 of them for incident tonight, so that's not counting the stage breaks. Ty Dillon with a great run in 12th place tonight, by the way. We haven't really seen him or talked about him much, but having a quiet but good night for Jermaine Racing. BJ McLeod also been in the top 10 all night. He's in 9th place right now. First car 1 lap down. He might have went 2 laps down again. I'm not entirely sure, but Bubba Wallace, great run for him as well for RPM in 11th. So we have seen in the Coke 600 over the years that sometimes it's just a matter of survival. We've seen some good runs and some upset winners here at this racetrack. Drivers that have gotten their first career win in the Coke 600. Austin Dillon, Casey Mears, Jeff Gordon. Some drivers that have won their first career races in the Southern 500 before, so it can be done. Seen a lot of fuel mileage races here at Charlotte over the past as well. Obviously before the stage racing era, but it still could be a possibility at any given racetrack on any given race day. 35 laps left. Yeah, Blaney's really pushing hard in 1 and 2, and there's no traffic around him. He is going full throttle through turns 1 and 2. And he hasn't been able to really do that all night, or at least hasn't pushed the car into doing that all night. I mean, he's barely off the throttle through 3 and 4 even. This is the time to go. It's the last gasp of the race. And with this 550 package, the more on throttle time, the more momentum you can increase, the better off you're going to be. Not like with the 750 package or the older package where you can kind of back up the corners a little bit better. That's not the case here. You want to be on the throttle as much as you can, even if that means staying on the gas, but maybe coming off full throttle, run like part throttle through the corners. Whatever you can do to keep that momentum going. And that is what Blaney is doing here in the late going. Well, again, he has won a race, obviously rain shortened. And he just got right in the back of David Reagan. That costed him some time, too. 20.5 seconds off the lead. Less than 20 laps away from pit stops. And Blaney just is not cutting into this deficit like we've seen him cut into it all night. It is taking him longer through the run. He also fell behind longer. That incident with Brendan Gaughan, William Byron definitely cost him a lot of time. The contact there with Cole Custer, that is going to cost him time. Just the little things you're seeing here lap after lap unfold right in front of Blaney. Tyler Reddick in the top 10. Blaney going to push him on the outside, try to really get him going through 3 and 4. And now looking low. Reddick is 2 laps down right now. 3 laps down, rather. In the 10th spot. $30 to go. Kevin Harvick is on pit road. Does he have an issue? He was in the top 5. That'll bump Elliott up to 5th. Keselowski 6th. Blaney 7th. Blaney just went full throttle through 3 and 4 that time. He barely held. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Harvick's up in heavy smoke. Something has happened to Kevin Harvick. We stay green. He's on pit road. And that is going to end his chances of winning the Coke 600 now. That is the second driver who has ran in the top 5 all night that has had issues. Kyle Busch and now Kevin Harvick. The heavy favorite, though, Christopher Bell, still in this race. And Blaney is running full throttle all the way around the track now, even in 3 and 4. I mean, he hit his marks absolutely perfect that time. He's now 17.5 seconds off the lead. He is digging. That right front tire is getting really worn out. Pushing Bobby Carter through 3 and 4. Not an ideal situation, though. 27 to go, but by running full throttle, he's using more of that right front tire, but I mean, that's just what he's got to do to get back into this thing. We'll be coming around to 26 laps to go this time by. Likely going to be some pit strategy here out of the 12 team. We going right side tires only to the end of the race to try and save time on pit road. How much time will that save them? I mean, there's desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. 25 to go this time by now. In the 600-mile event, it all comes down to this. A strategy game at the end to hopefully gain the track position you need for the finish. Man, Blaney just shot the gap under Boyer. He really pushed it there. He had to lift a little bit, but he wanted to get by Boyer before it. Going for 6th place now on Brad Keselowski on the racetrack. His teammate, one of which that are running in the top 10. Logano's still a little further up ahead. Chase Elliott in 5th place, not too far ahead, and now Blaney's 14 seconds off the lead. So again, he is cutting into that deficit. He was 30.5 seconds back. They can make it about 10 laps on fuel. He might short pit here too. 23 to go. Full throttle through 1 and 2. He should catch up to Matt Kenseth in 4th and Denny Hamlin in 3rd before he hits pit road. Not sure where the 2nd place driver Joey Logano's at right now. Through 3 and 4 again, full throttle. He's able to keep it off the wall, get the momentum off the top side now. Well over 3 hours into the race indeed, Jackson. Blaney lifts a little bit, but that's because he's got to tuck the car to the inside of Timmy Hill. He almost didn't. Kenseth's caught behind the lap car of Brendan Gaughan. That'll move Blaney up to 4th. More spots he gains before he hits pit road, the better. Now through turns 1 and 2. 11 seconds off the lead. Gets out of the gas. He crosses under Denny Hamlin. Blaney up to 3rd off of turn 4. Less than 10 seconds off the lead. Bell might be caught in lap traffic right now. It's tough to tell for sure. Blaney lifted a little bit in 1 and 2 there, trying to set the race car. Joey Logano is actually only a second behind Christopher Bell. We've been talking about Bell this whole time. All of a sudden, Joey Logano is less than a second behind Christopher Bell. Bell is caught in heavy lap traffic. And Blaney now is only 7.5, now roughly 7 seconds off the lead at the start-finish line. 19 laps to go in the Coke 600. Pushing hard in turns 1 and 2, full throttle again. Blaney's going to stay out one more lap. He's got some good momentum and he's carrying some good speed. He's trying to push it as long as he can on these tires. 18 to go. Blaney will be pitting this time by. Full throttle through 1 and 2 again. 5.5 seconds off the lead. So Blaney will pit this time by. He'll be about 5 seconds off the race lead. It'll be a 2-tire stop for the 12 team. Trying to gain time. Will this be the strategy call to win the race? They did not speed on pit road either. 10 seconds of damage, and that could be another reason they are losing time, and they will put just enough fuel to make it to the end. Put in 1 can just to make sure. Here we go. Looking like an 8.5 second stop here. Will this be enough? Now everybody else still has to pit to the end of the race. Blaney is short pitting and he is taking right sides only. And out of the pits he goes. This is going to be an interesting strategy call. Everybody else will likely take 4 tires. Blaney looking to gain that extra maybe 7 seconds he needs. And again, needs this to play green to the end. See the fresh right sides. Now it's going to loosen the car up maybe a little bit more, so he might not be as tight as he is on the short runs either, with only having right sides. Those left sides will make it to the end of the race. Here's the 3rd place car, Hamlin. Oh, Hamlin's coming to pit road. He moved down in front of Blaney. That's going to cost Blaney a little bit of time, but Hamlin's coming to the pits. Logano and Bell are on pit road as we speak. Blaney back on the lead lap now. 15 to go. Kurt Busch moved down in front of him, and now Blaney had to lift because of Busch. He should cycle ahead of Bell and Logano. He was 5 seconds off the lead beforehand. Yeah, they could make it on 2 tires also. That could be a strategy call for them. But they will likely take 4. There's Hamlin, and there is Logano and Bell coming out of the pits. Blaney to the lead. Blaney has just taken the lead. They are getting up to speed after a 4-tire stop, and Blaney is absolutely hustling right now to get away. That's going to give him some time advantage, but they are going to have fresher tires. And look at this pack of lap traffic, one of which is pitting. That would be Ross Chastain. Blaney is less than 2 seconds ahead of Bell. Bell is coming now, 13 to go. Lap traffic right in front of Blaney. Blaney's got nowhere to go. He gets into the back of Byron into turns 1 and 2. Byron is slow on the racetrack. He might be out of fuel. I think Byron ran it out of gas. And that is costing Bell time. Bell is caught behind Byron. Blaney out to a 2-second lead again. Trying to get around the lap traffic. That cost him a little time, but not as much as it costed Bell. And Logano now is only about a half a second behind Bell. It is a 3-horse race as we near 10 to go. After 600 miles, it is going to come down to this. Ooh, Priest coming to the pits. Oh, Blaney had to lift. He came in at an awkward angle into the corner. Oh, that slowed up Christopher Bell. Bell had to check up behind Priest. There might have been contact. I think Bell got into the back of Ryan Priest. And that's going to buy Blaney more time. He's 3.5 seconds ahead. And now Bell's got to battle Logano. There was a wreck going into, or coming off of turn 4 rather. Priest was trying to get to pit road, and Bell ran into the back of him. And we stay green. And that buys Blaney even more time. Everything going Blaney's way late. 10 laps to go in the Coke 600. Will he hang on with the 2-tire strategy? He's going full throttle through 1 and 2. Trying to push it. Stenhouse is in his way now. Man, he really needs Stenhouse to move. Stenhouse is in Blaney's way. Everything was going Blaney's way there for a little bit. Not anymore. He is stuck behind Stenhouse with 9 to go. With Christopher Bell, who has dominated the day, closing in behind, as well as Joey Logano. Through 1 and 2. Blaney is into the back of Stenhouse. He can't get around him, and here comes Bell. Down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. Which way will he go? Oh, Bell moves him. Bell just moved Ryan Blaney out of the way. Oh my goodness. 8 laps to go. Christopher Bell has just moved Ryan Blaney out of the way. Blaney trying to hold on to second. Here comes Wallace on the top. Wallace is in the wall. Blaney got shoved up there by Logano. And Logano now looks to the inside. Stenhouse is holding both of these guys up. Now Bubba Wallace going to give Blaney a shot on the outside. Big run. 3 wide for second. More lap traffic to come just ahead of Christopher Bell. Blaney is getting a push from Bubba Wallace. Trying to help his best friend out. Will we stay green to the end? We are coming to 6 laps to go this time by. 6 laps to go this time by. 2 seconds off the lead is Blaney. Not trying to give up. Bubba Wallace is helping him. We have seen tonight 2 cars faster than 1, but now Wallace is going to get underneath Blaney. Ty Dillon now is going to try to give Blaney a shot. And Christopher Bell caught behind a lap car down the back straightaway. Problem Child, welcome to the stream. Five laps to go. Heavy lap traffic in front of Bell. He's 2.5 seconds ahead. We'll see if Logano can catch him next, though. Logano's about a second off the lead. A little over a second off the lead. Blaney trying to side draft Ty Dillon. He's got no hope for these guys. Blaney needs a caution to get back into this thing now. I mean, his car's slowly coming to him, but I think he's a little too far off the lead now. Oh, contact with Dillon. That's not going to help. 4 laps to go. Bell moved Blaney out of the way with 8 laps remaining. And Bell is pulling away from Logano, who Joey is now caught behind the lap traffic. Blaney might be able to catch Logano for second. Joey is just struggling to get around those lap cars right now. 3 laps to go. If the leader gets to the white flag, the next flag will end the race. Everybody's just hoping for a caution. That is not Christopher Bell. That was the only hope Blaney had, was a go-off strategy to gain that 4.5 seconds of lap time. He was not going to gain that on pit road without taking 2 tires. It was the only real shot he had. They ate him alive on the 4 fresh tires. They caught him with 7 to go, and after Christopher Bell moved him out of the way. More lap traffic right around Blaney. Bell has a 2-second lead on Joey Logano. Blaney should hold on to third. But Bell has deserved it nonetheless. He has dominated the course of the night. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in the Coke 600. After 600 miles and only 3 cautions per incident, it has still been a wild night that comes down to a somewhat close finish. A strategy race at the end. Blaney tried to gain the track position with 2 tires versus 4, and again, it did not pay off. Lap traffic got back in the way of Blaney, but ultimately, I don't think he was going to be able to hold on anyway. He held on for about 10 laps, but it just wasn't enough. Checkered flag in the air. Christopher Bell will win the Coke 600, his 2nd win of the season. Joey Logano 2nd, Ryan Blaney in 3rd. Followed by Kenseth Hamlin, your top 5. Elliott Keselowski, McLeod, Reddick, and Bubba Wallace rounds out the top 10. 7 cars finished on the lead lap. I am exhausted. Oh my God. Three hours and 27 minutes total time on the race today. Longest race on NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel's history. Kyle Button, Clyde's Poppers. Thanks for joining the stream late. Man, oh man. Blaney came in with just a 5-point lead. He got a lot of stage points. There was one of the wrecks we might have had earlier in the race. Oh man, Hamlin was involved. So Ryan Blaney should still have the points lead. Again, I had to manually do the points myself, so these points are not accurate. My lead is probably less than 28 points because we only came in with a 5-point lead and we barely finished ahead of Keselowski and Hamlin, and we all scored a lot of stage. I'll have to go back through as usual and calculate everything myself here, go through all the stages. Again, we had a points issue because when you DNF, both on career mode and championship mode, it doesn't actually calculate the stage points incurred throughout the course of the race. So I had to go back through those races, add on the stage points to the actual remaining total you see here for both the AI and for me. So I'll have to do that after here, but I can pretty much guarantee we should still have the points lead because I think we scored more stage points than our competitors, and again, we came in with a 5-point lead and barely beat them in the race results, so we should have increased our lead by a little bit. And for Christopher Bell, 2nd win of the season, he gets two more playoff points tonight, winning both stage 1 and stage 3. He led the most laps. I mean, that was just an incredible performance out of the rookie. Again, on a hot streak, he has finished in the top 5 in 4 of the last 5 races, 3 of which in the top 2. I mean, that is just an incredible run of what he is on right now. And he gets a crown jewel victory added to his resume. Christopher Bell, 29.222 fastest lap ran. He led 252 of the 400 laps today. That is 400 miles worth of laps led in a 600-mile race, so congrats to him. He definitely deserved it. Harvick had the tough break there. That's another thing. We didn't look to see who all DNF. We had a couple late between Kyle Busch and Harvick at the end of the race there. We actually had a lot of drivers DNF. 9 drivers failed to finish the Coke 600 tonight. Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Quinn Houff, Chad Fincham, Eric Jones, your Daytona 500 winner, Jimmy Johnson, John Hunter Nemechek, and Daniel Suarez all DNF. Wow, 9 of them failed to finish. Only 31 cars made it across the finish line at the end of this race. It was meant to test their endurance. Endurances were tested tonight by both the chat and me alike, but we made it to the end. After 3 hours and 27 minutes, the race is over, and we can all rest. We'll be back again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Kansas Speedway for NASCAR Heat 5. on this season, Cup Series action as well. If the NASCAR race at Texas in real life tomorrow is going on at that time, then we will postpone it till after the race is over. And if it gets done beforehand, then obviously we can just roll right into the scheduled time. So that is going to be it for this one. Thanks everybody for watching here tonight. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. If you're not subscribed after watching this, how are you not? Subscribe. It was a great race. It was a lot of fun, despite the length. But there was a lot of action throughout the course of the race, and it came down to the wire at the end. Christopher Bell gets the win in the Coke 600, and that will wrap it up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the race if it so happens tomorrow, and I'll be back to see you guys. Thanks, and have a good night.